Hi there, and welcome to Rumor Spill. To say that the Super Bowl in 2024 was nothing short of exceptional would be an understatement. The fact that Beyoncé and Usher were in attendance at the game has been the subject of discussion among members of the community. Now, allow me to fill you in on the details. Usher is a little bit irritated by the fact that Beyoncé chose to release her new album on the same day as the Super Bowl, which is Sunday. As can be seen, Usher was absolutely great for the entirety of the game, and he even broke the record for the most viewers who have ever seen a halftime show. In spite of the fact that she has gained a great deal of success, the topic of conversation appears to continue to revolve around Beyoncé's upcoming album collection. On the other side, there are certain Usher followers who are unwavering in their commitment to the artist's success. One of the participants said, "I believe that nobody can take that moment away from Usher. That show was simply indescribable." Nevertheless, it seems that Usher is taking a swipe at Beyoncé by insinuating that she might have provided him with the opportunity to have his leisure time. Because, after all, the evening was supposed to be all about him before Beyoncé unexpectedly stole the show, everyone is now talking over whether or not Usher's recent wedding announcement was an attempt to shift the spotlight back to him. Beyoncé unexpectedly stole the event. At this point, let's travel back in time to November of the previous year, when it was announced that Usher would be the principal act at the Super Bowl. Every single person was ecstatic simply due to the fact that it was Usher. It is hardly possible to let his performances slip your mind. On the occasion of his residency in Las Vegas, he was so talented that he might have even created a rupture in Keke Palmer's relationship. Nevertheless, there is a narrative that will be revealed at a later time. Keke Palmer's relationship was put on hold because of his talent. The performance that Usher did during the Super Bowl was rather spectacular, especially when one considers the fact that he had been performing in Las Vegas for almost 2 years and had almost completely sold out of his shows. Although there were a few hiccups, such as Alicia Keys' opening remarks, he had an amazing performance overall. It is true that there were a few malfunctions. Nevertheless, there were two things that were able to take the limelight away from him. Kanye West was the first person to be mentioned, and he was the one who spent an amazing $7 million for a 30-second commercial spot during the Super Bowl. After that, he produced a video that was quite easy and straightforward, and it simply directed visitors to his website, which was called Easy. In the first 24 hours after the Super Bowl, T.I.G. was able to sell more than 200,000 items of merchandise with the assistance of Beyoncé. It was a total and utter shock to everyone. When it came to Beyoncé's advertising, the 1-minute version was the one that brought about the most significant shift. There are allegations that she was paid more than $30 million for it, despite the fact that the movie was just 1 minute long. Although this is an astounding amount for a commercial that is only 1 minute long, consider the fact that it is Beyoncé. There was a feeling of breaking the internet about the promo, and when Beyoncé made a brief mention of the idea that she would be releasing new music, fans went completely crazy and speculated about who she would be releasing her next album. The controversy that surrounds Beyoncé's advertising for the Super Bowl was the one that actually stole the show, despite the fact that Usher's performance was impressive enough to break a record. Beyoncé used the song "The Talk of the Town" as a means of releasing a coded teaser message for new music that she was planning to release. Her whispered words, "Drop the music," immediately circulated across the internet before anybody could stop them. People were looking for any clue that she had published a new song across a variety of streaming sites, including Apple Music and Tidal, among other services. It was reported that Beyoncé will be releasing a new album just a few days before the Super Bowl, which is an amusing situation considering the circumstances. One of the stories stated that the album would be released. One of the factors that led to the propagation of these accusations was the fact that she went to the Grammy Awards wearing a costume that was inspired by country music. And guess what? The choices that were made by the supporters were absolutely correct. Not only did Beyoncé surprise everyone by releasing 2 new songs, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages, both of which became instant classics, but she also announced that her new album, Brent's Act 2, will be released on March 29th. Both of these songs became instant classics. From this point on, things are going to become a great deal more interesting. However, Beyonce keeps moving with a sense of total and utter surprise and excitement. Beyonce's announcement overshadowed Usher, who had just finished delivering an incredible performance at the Super Bowl of the United States. Usher had just ended his remarkable performance. In spite of the fact that he was the primary attraction of the event, Beyonce suddenly appeared on stage and stole the show. There was a dramatic shift in the topic of conversation from Usher's halftime show to Beyonce's most recent album, and it wasn't only Usher who made the transition. Additionally, there was the controversy that accompanied Kanye's advertisement, which was typical of him to spend a lot of money on an ad spot and then merely invite people to check out his website, but it worked out to his advantage regardless of the criticism. His big moment was overshadowed by the fact that Usher went from breaking records to being a footnote, and this has left him with the idea that his big moment was less significant. It felt as though the news about Beyonce was just too big for anyone to handle, and it is a lot for anyone to deal with. Following the conclusion of the Super Bowl, his sales had a meteoric rise, which added an additional facet to the events that took place that evening. The entire situation, in which Beyonce's statement overshadowed Usher's Super Bowl moment, is just one piece of a larger puzzle. It all looks to be part of an extremely creative and low-key push for Beyonce's album, which is something that we have all been missing. Do you remember Jay-Z's speech at the Met Gala? While he was on stage at the Grammy Awards, he brought their daughter Blue Ivy with him and delivered a scathing criticism of the organization for failing to bestow the Record of the Year nomination upon Beyonce. Blue Ivy was another thing that he contributed to the presentation. Due to the fact that Beyonce had not yet released any new songs and had not even been nominated for an award in the past, this appeared to be fairly shocking at the time, given the circumstances. In spite of this, when viewed through the lens of hindsight, it is quite probable that it was a deliberate attempt to attract the attention of the media for her subsequent record collection. After some time has passed, it looks to have been an outstanding approach for developing interest in the subject matter. It is also important to remember that Beyonce made her entrance at the Grammy Awards while wearing a cowgirl outfit, which served as a clear indication that she was working on her next album. Several days after Jay-Z's speech, the focus of talk on the internet centered on Beyonce and the album she had released in the past. This was not merely an instance of a husband demonstrating his support for his wife, rather, it was a deliberate campaign with the intention of generating publicity, and it was successful. There were several conversations about Beyonce and her music that took place across a variety of social media sites. Move forward in time to the Super Bowl, where Beyonce makes the revelation that dramatically changes the way things are going to turn out. The release of the new song was not only unexpected, but it also marked the culmination of a campaign that had been well planned and had been building up to this point the entire time. We were completely unaware that it was going to take place. The manner in which Beyonce and Jay-Z have been playing this extended game between the Grammy Awards and the Super Bowl is nothing short of spectacular. The game has been going on for quite some time.
They are professionals at keeping everyone guessing and wanting more, and each and every action that they performed was a piece of the puzzle that went into putting together the puzzle. In the event that Usher were to react in this fashion to everything, it would appear to be quite logical. It was due to the fact that he had such a remarkable performance at the Super Bowl that he was unable to keep the focus on himself.
When you are fighting for attention with someone like Beyonce, who is extraordinarily adept at capturing the attention of people all over the world, it is a difficult pill to swallow. Beyonce is a superstar. Over the course of this eventful narrative, which encompassed everything from the Super Bowl to the Grammy Awards and all in between, it came to a conclusion. As things now stand in this high-stakes game of music and celebrity, Usher finds himself in the shadow of Beyonce's brilliant publicity plan. This is the case despite the fact that he is gifted and has performed in a manner that has broken records. Subscribe Rumor Spill for more videos.